So we have to look at the old paradigms. That's our challenge. Coming with 27 years of teaching, that part was easier because I've said about almost every one of these when I started teaching. Luckily, we've changed out of them. Like I told them what to do, not my fault they didn't do it. Come on now. We had to get rid of fault out of our vocabulary. We got plenty of people to blame. Can't we blame K through 12? Can't we blame the parents, society? We can go on down the list. It's our responsibility. It's not about fault. It's about responsibility. So we've interchanged those words. And second of all, telling, not teaching. We already showed that's the least effective means of teaching. We're talking about a level of teaching much greater than that. Coaches understand this. I could just imagine getting up on Monday morning, turn on the TV, and have a coach on there saying, you know what, it's not my fault they didn't play hard Saturday. I told them to. And it's not my fault they were running around like they didn't know the play. Look here, I gave them handouts, I gave them a PowerPoint, I told them to study that stuff. You'd be looking at the screen thinking, who hired this person? And this is football. It's not near as important as education. I said this one because I spent the first 5 years in K-12. I got to community college. Oh, I'm at college now. I'm dealing with adults and college students. They know how to do so-and-so. It took about 3 weeks to figure out that was not the right approach. We're teaching students how to be responsible adults, and college students is a big difference. Some faculty would say, well, we're supposed to just lower the, of course we're not supposed to just lower the standard, give grade. Would you tell a student that you're just supposed to cheat? Oh, you can't make the standard? Well, just cheat. That's not what we're saying. Improve your strategies. Improve your study strategies, teaching strategies. Well, if we focus on success rates, that'll encourage us to give grades. Does setting standards for students encourage them to cheat? When prices go up at the grocery store, does that encourage somebody to steal? Of course not. We look for ways to do it better and more effectively and efficiently. And our faculty hung on to this one. Well, if those withdrawals you're counting in there, I can't control all those. Wait, we can't control everything. But you're telling me we can't change some strategies that will allow students to persist a little longer? The problem that they said made them withdraw maybe wasn't big enough for them to withdraw, but they just didn't feel the connection. So I agree we can't control all those, but I also agree there's things we can do that can cut that number in half that quick. Oh, it's my course. I can do whatever I want. Well, actually, it's the college's course. Our name's nowhere on the transcript, but I see what they mean. You know, it's their course. It's kind of like using the academic freedom. The academic freedom is an umbrella, but it's like your president said, with freedom comes responsibility. Do you really think they mean I can do whatever I want regardless of the destructively discriminatory effects on students? I mean, of course, that's surely not what they mean. But you have to get them thinking. Isn't that what critical thinking is? Challenging you with an opposing view, so you have to think about it. That's what the old paradigms are doing here. How will using these effective strategies prepare them for the university? Now, I'm assuming, I hate to do that, but I'm assuming they mean that the university is just going to get thrown out there and you get it, you get it, if you don't, you don't. And if that's what they mean, we'll have to agree. If a student doesn't know how to study, if they don't realize their efforts control their success with that empowerment, they're not going to stand a chance at a university. So absolutely, we need to provide them with the tools they need to be successful, and that's what those strategies are. Do you realize some of our students do not come with a full toolkit? You look in some of them toolkit, you'll see nothing but a screwdriver. You're thinking, good gracious alive, we got a problem. You had to nail up a plywood wall and all you got's a screwdriver. Do you think they might look frustrated? You think they might look unmotivated? Oh, they're definitely going to be unproductive. Hand them a hammer and watch their world change. Better yet, hand them a nail gun. We can always find another level. Hand them a nail gun and watch their world change. Some students come with those tools, some don't. We provide them that. I had a faculty say, well, you know what, I could teach them if you just send me motivated students willing to learn. Well, wouldn't that be a utopia? But my question, great teachers ask great questions, right? Who's going to determine if they're motivated? Is that going to be you? And how are you going to do that? The way they sit in class, the way they look? I'm just wondering how you're going to do this. Because I've never been able to determine what's in here. Navy SEALs have the most intensive training on the planet. They have yet to provide an algorithm that tells them who's going to be successful in the end. They can't do it. They've just given up. Because you can't see inside here. Or I asked them any questions. Nobody replied. I told them to come by my office. Nobody showed up. Really. That low-income, first-generation student didn't walk up to a door that said, Dr. So-and-so, blind shut, doors closed, and knock on the door and ask you a question they already thought was a stupid question. What a surprise. Do we have a grade book? Absolutely. I don't need anybody to tell me they have it. I know who has a question. So it's good to ask those things, but not to use it as an excuse not to intervene further. And then, of course, we're talking about incorporating these life skills into what we do in today's time. Faculty hit us with that right off the bat. Not my job to teach, so that's a parent's job. Whoa, we got over 116,000 children in the state of Alabama don't live with either biological parent. They got 3 of them in our household. We know that. So that's not a good excuse. It's our responsibility to do whatever they need to prepare them for higher education or the workplace.